Bant Beanstalk control deck, leaning a bit more into the kind of more traditional, I think, idea for playing this Up the Beanstalk card. It was very impressive in the Naya shell. It is cheap. It offers a lot of card advantage, and the fact that it just always cycles is just so nice. Like the fact, you know, kind of in a similar way to the ring, like it's just so hard to not get at least one card out of it, but it only costs 2 mana instead of 4, which is a really, really big deal. Still leaning really hard into the Nissa aspect of the plan. I think with only the Solitudes that hit, I could see playing less than 3 Nissas, but I also think when we're only playing 4 of the Evoke incarnations, I'm a little bit worried about your number of enablers for Up the Beanstalk. Like, we don't have as many big things to trigger the card in the shell. I'm not really going to count Shark Typhoon as an enabler, but in this build we're up to 21 because I'm counting Nissa, since it's going to be so likely get you access to a Solitude. But I probably should have said this at the beginning. 2 mana, ETB, draw a card. Whenever you cast a spell, mana value 5 or greater, draw a card. We're also playing 2 copies of Honorog's tech, Logic Knot. Logic Knot is a card that I think a lot of people thought you would not see that often anymore once Counterspell entered the format, but this is a 2-mana counterspell that can trigger Up the Beanstalk if you delve 3 or more cards from your graveyard away. And with Lrien Revealed and a lot of fetch lands, Solitudes and stuff, it's really not that hard to do. I'm pretty excited. I have high hopes for this build. Let me make sure that sorry, I did some time reselecting all the arts because of the all access pass, and I'm gonna rejoin so I can get all my new fancy arts. When Counterspell got printed in Modern, I was so excited. I've done a really bad job of not playing the decks I build and just getting too excited and, you know, quitting something I've been prepping for a week just to play the sweeter stuff. That's probably going to be a kind of a train wreck brew that it's better to do off stream, you know, just stuff like this. Once playing Gigantha, I think I want Chalice against Grixis Shadow or Tron, which is the most likely of either. I think I'll put back Logic Knot over Lrien Revealed. Does Cosmic Rebirth Eternal Witness deck have legs? I did like that deck. I didn't play a ton of it, but I did like it when I played it. I don't know. It was good. Tap land? Let's go. I was judged with the adventure card. We haven't tried it yet, you know, it's still a bit early. I don't know that I will. Maybe it was clear from that game. I don't really like Dredge. I'm not a Dredge fan. It reminds me a lot of the era of Modern where games were they're just over immediately, and a lot of times were just not that interesting, or maybe I should say that there are just a lot of games that it just your draws had like no relevance, or maybe that's not true. It's more so like, okay, you're playing against Dredge game 1, you can never win. Do you have Graveyard Hate? Great, you have Graveyard Hate. That means you have a chance to win. Congratulations on not just being dead to your opponent playing Dredge. Do you draw your Graveyard Hate games 2 and 3? Great. If you miss one of your Sideboard games, you lose the match, and if your opponent draws super well, can answer your Graveyard Hate and kill you in a timely manner before you draw a second piece, you lose anyway. You also lose. It's just the matchup just becomes like a flow chart rather than like an actual game of Magic. All right, 5 mana, draw 4. I'll take that. That's Tidings, right? Love playing Dredge. Yeah, playing Dredge is certainly more fun. You get to make lots of like cool decisions, and you get to do a lot of stuff, I'm sure. But playing against Dredge is just the least interesting. You know what I mean? You just not a lot happens that you get to like. You're just playing a flowchart deck. Okay, so let's go Temple Garden Verdict here. The next turn we can go Beanstalk Binding Counterspell. Guess you go Beanstalk Binding. Oh, just one Counterspell. Is Living End the same? No, Living End is, I think, different. Like against Living End, you can at least interact with them with discard spells and counter spells, is the thing. Like Modern is like this. Like, you have fair decks that play discard spells and counter spells to combat the non-linear decks. Is a very classic formula for Modern. This is like kind of like just how it's always worked. And so, like, Living End is, also kind of a silly deck, but it is one that you can cast a counter spell and maybe win a game. You can cast discard spells and they don't draw out of it sometimes. But what's so frustrating to me about Dredge is there's like traditional interaction is completely irrelevant against it. Yeah, Dredge did get some stuff. There's an adventure, the Ox, that discards your hand, draws 2, and then can adventure creature cast pretty cheaply. I think that card's actually pretty good. Would I use Hallowed Moonlight in the sideboard? I mean, maybe, but like creativity is pretty unpopular at the moment, and it's not a card that I historically like a lot. I guess let's just go Binding in response. I may want to Solitude the Giganta. They may even concede to this Binding. Yeah. Just concede to the Binding. 1 mana, exile permanent, draw 2 cards. Yeah, I don't think you want to play Doomscar over Verdict just because it triggers Beanstalk, but you could play Sun Scour, pitch 2 white cards, destroy all creatures. It sounds like pretty sick, but probably not all that good. So we're up against Breach, I think, but they're playing Gigantha, so they're still on Grape Shot instead of Thassa's Oracle, which is kind of weird. Needle can name Saga Ring, Emery, so I think that's going to likely be worth bringing in. They were up against a Saga deck, so I want some number of Spreading Seas. I want the full 4 against like Tron and Titan. I think against a deck like Jund Breach, maybe 3 copies is going to be a more appropriate number. Chalice seems pretty good. I don't know that I want to play 4. I think 3 is probably fine, especially because you can play 1 copy on 0 to stop Bobble or Emery Bobble. Then cutting the Typhoons is fine. I think winning the game is not going to be that tough. We can maybe trim Nissa number 4, and I think cutting the Verdicts. I think I want 1 Verdict, not 2. And then 1 Verdict, not 2. I want all the removal. Revealed on the draw. Maybe not on the play. It's not Breach, it's Red Blue Asmo. Well, I think that they also like have Breach in their deck, would be my guess. Maybe not. Like we saw Flame of Venor, Emery, Asmo, but I would expect them to also have Breach Grape Shot on their deck if they're playing Emery and they're playing I guess it's mostly just Emery that makes me think they're on Breach. Like I personally do not like to register that card if I am not playing Breach decks, but maybe they haven't come to that conclusion. Yeah, maybe they do like Emery outside of Breach builds. Okay, let's just get a Raffine's Tower tapped, I guess. Simone with the 10 months, thank you, welcome back. Could you fit copy enchantments for a bigger Beanstalk, more Leyline? I don't think that copy Beanstalk. It doesn't sound good, but creative. Yeah, DRC also is a card that implies Breach, I think. A Breach Brew. 2 free for the bean. Why do people play Turbos with Beanstalk like Brainstorm became legal? Just let the control players have a little bit of fun, maybe, but I agree that it does not look, what's the word? Good? Alright, I think we'll go Pending Binding this turn. How does Control become good again? Is Classic Control too slow for Modern? Control is currently good in Modern. I maybe kind of implied otherwise, but I think traditional Blue-White Control is good, and then Wafo has also been putting out some really good lists with Snapcaster, Flame of Venor that have been doing well, and I would recommend like taking a look at if you are a person who wants to be a Control gamer. I do think we're playing Teferi. I think there's an okay argument for going Nissa, Land, Needle, Saga. I think I'm actually just going to bounce my own Binding. And just be okay losing the Teferi to the Construct and getting our 1 mana Vindicate. They're playing Oliphant? What the hell? But how do you beat control? My LGS is nothing but control. Right. I forgot that all of our LGSs are still control decks. I'll let you know if I can figure it out. Still working on that one. Okay, so let's play our land. I make a blue mana so I could theoretically Logic Knot in response to removal spell here. Then we'll get white. Wow. So I'm gonna go cast Binding. Binding on Construct. Needle the Emery. With strictly better Counterspell up. And also Counterspell up if they play a 1-drop. Well, I guess Counterspell's not all that good if they don't cast a spell. You can write that one down, y'all. You can write that one down. I guess Counterspell's not all that good if they don't cast a spell. Okay, let's start off by pitching a Solitude here, I think. I think I want to do that more than I want to. Well, I guess I could just go... I could go Pending plus Hardcast Solitude. See, I have 7 mana if I play... I just can't also hold up the Counterspell. I'm a little bit worried about getting Breach comboed. Yeah, I think that this is fine. If I draw a fetch land, I can try to find another Solitude. I can also, like, draw 4 cards off my Lrien Revealed. I think that I want to just evoke in these kind of spots. Yeah, so we have now 4 looks at another white card. Cool. No more Solitudes in the deck, unfortunately, but I think we may be alright. Nissa makes white with land drop. I was counting the Nissa mana. It was still 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus the 1 from Nissa, which is not enough to hardcast Solitude, but Pending and hold up interaction. So I don't need fetch lands anymore. Yeah, Nissa is so good. Just put Solitude in your hand and make mana. The control deck is so crazy. I'll probably withhold the urge to Logic Knot a Bauble, and in order to do so, I'll just tell myself that I'll be able to draw 2 cards off my Logic Knot by playing another Beanstalk. Oh, talking to the chat. I see. I apologize. Equip Shadow Spirit, baby. Let's go. I'm kind of light on win conditions because I boarded out my Typhoon, so I'm gonna try to prioritize not or hardcasting the Solitude. I think we'll just go Nissa, Bean, hold up Counter Magic though. Well, maybe we do this instead. The problem is if my opponent casts this Emery, it's not worth Logic Knotting, so how am I going to get my draw to? The only issue now is how to tutor Talisman kind of sucks. So the only issue is the same issue the deck has always had. Yeah, I know what that's like. Okay, I need a screenshot for Twitter, y'all, so I'm just going to Logic Knot this. This is literally just, I want a screenshot and feed my family with content. Fast Hands, the 23 months, thank you. Oh, but I messed up because I could have played a third Beanstalk and then... and then kept going. I'm going to discard a Beanstalk here. I'm a bit worried about decking myself. Roll the 6. Roll the 5. Disrupting Shoal? Oh, Disrupting Shoal Beanstalk is cool. That's a thought, huh? Maybe up against Titan? So there was a deck tech yesterday. Someone was playing Sun Scour. It's a 7 mana, destroy all creatures at instant speed, right? I think it's an instant. But you can pitch 2 white cards instead of casting its cost. I thought that was kind of cool. I woke up and I'm looking through the haze. I was like, am I gonna register Sun Scour today? And I was like, nah, not today. Not today, guys. Spooky, thank you for the 35 months. Welcome back. Almost spooky season, huh? It's a sorcery? Oh, no. Why can't we have nice things? Why can't I draw a counterspell? Yeah, Commandeer is cool too. I don't know. Maybe Commandeer is just great. It could just be great. All Commandeers and Logic Knots all the way down. Yeah, Murder's Cut is a good suggestion too. I like Murder's Cut a lot. Yeah, we have played Cauldron. Cauldron was really good in scales. It was kind of like immediately an overperformer for me. We were also talking. We also like have been. There was a cool deck tech that was trying to use Goblin Engineer as a way to like there's a deck that was using like Goblin Engineer, Urza, Stoneforge, Asmo as things you could give activated abilities to for Cauldron. And we've also been talking about playing like mono black Gorios with Shieldred, Asmo, Gristlebrand, Cauldron, so that you can like turn your Shieldred into a Gristlebrand, and that's maybe your win condition. Although I guess you just deck yourself. But you'll deck yourself and it'll be beautiful while you do it. Okay, so Solitude is definitely a really nice tool in this matchup. I do not think that the construct matters at all. It's basically just a blank piece of cardboard, so I will leave it alone for now. Sorry, Nissa for Solitude is what I mean. Opponent only has 3 cards in their hand. Tough ball to fly for them. Draven with the 30 bucks, thank you. And Reed with the 26, thank you as well. I'm gonna pick up maybe T West. Turn your Shieldred into a Gristle. Holy Windmore. Yeah. I don't know. It sounds awesome though. And like it also is it is Windmore, but like it's always very, very nice when your combo involves already good cards. Like if you're already playing a Gristlebrand Goryo's deck, right? Like Gristlebrand is a card you're happy to include. Shieldred is also a card that you're like not super unhappy to include in general. Maybe it's like a little suboptimal. But Cauldron is just basically extra copies of Goryo's is how you're thinking about it. It's like everything Dermotaxi ever wanted to be would be how you'd think about it. And you know, you could give it a go. Everything Dermotaxi ever dreamed of being. So they're 1 land away from a Titan, so if we don't find a Counterspell, we're going to hope to at least find a shielded off of our Nissa. Getting a teensy tiny bit flooded this game. Alright, 80% chance. Let's go. Although, sorry, I should have got untapped land, obviously. Actually, kind of a whoopsie daisy. Borborygmos. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. It sounds so cool. Durable Taxi will probably be like a $50 card in the future, when some EDH person will be like, whoa, have y'all seen this card? Imagine putting Bobo the Fortnite skin underneath it. I don't know. I don't know what EDH is like. Imagine exiling Naruto Uzumaki to your Dermotaxi, and then you have 2 Narutos. Because with commander rules, you get to exile it, then bring it back to the command zone. I don't know. Go, Nissa, go! Yeah, does this work the way I think it does? There was a post on EDH Twitter yesterday that was, this week, that was awesome. It was Doomsday plus Thassa's. It was a picture of Doomsday, and it was a picture of Thassa's Oracle. Super popular legacy combo, like, you know, very popular legacy deck. And the tweet was, wait, is this a 2-card combo that wins the game by itself? Does this work the way I think it does? And the comments are all like, yeah, but it's like not that good. It's like you have to like draw 5 cards or something. It was so funny. I was losing it. It was it was really funny. I think I'm just gonna cash this in for a random card here. Oh well. Oh, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But I probably should have fetched again. It's funny because it was ironic from Legacy player with lots of Doomsday. Oh, it was a joke. Oh, that's funny. I thought it was just like an EDH post because people post this stuff all the time. I saw one from but okay, maybe everything was a joke. It's okay. Like if it's ironic, it's like it's you know that is for the best because it was successful. You know what I mean? They got Beseiju. But they're having a great time, and I wish I was having a good time. So I was having half as much fun as they have. Samantha's post with a joke, response 100% serious. Yeah, I never get upset about it. I just think it's so funny, just how this is just the EDH meta. But it's fun. Like whenever the moments like this happen, I remember. Oh, I should get my forest. I remember being at Magic Fest Minneapolis and watching some. I don't know who it was, but some people were up on the stage and they were doing commander gameplay. I think I'm gonna say no. No, we'll just thin the deck. I don't think I need to like get the 4th Solitude of this Nissa or anything. Famous last words, maybe. Does this also give me double Solitude up? No, 1 short. So like there's some people playing EDH on the big screen, okay? And every time anyone on that screen would play any spell, someone just went cast Life from the Loam, someone attacked with a creature. Every time anyone takes any game action, the entire audience, and the audience is full. The audience is packed, full, and the audience is super packed, and it's so full there's like 200 people standing because there's not nearly enough seating to watch this game. And every time anyone casts a spell, the audience is going nuts. Life from the Loam. Ah, yeah! Life from the Loam! I love Life from the Loam! And then, like, the very next spell, everyone is just screaming and cheering every time anyone casts a spell. And I'm just like, who are these people? And why don't they watch me? I don't know. I just thought it was awesome. But, no. Like, who are these people? Yeah, Solitude, Teferi! Pounce the Saga, do it! Pounce the Saga! Logic, okay, Logic Knot is actually, that one's actually one to cheer for. Yeah, so if we could just keep that energy up for the rest of my streaming career. Yeah, let's attack for 6! Attack for 6, put him to 14! Your turn! Don't forget your Summoner's Pact trigger! Don't want to lose the game, do you? Oh man. Okay, but if I draw Typhoon and we make a big shark, you'll actually have to go nuts. Time Warp Fair cards in the deck. You can play a Time Warp build, yeah. I was thinking about maybe playing them over the Typhoons. Yeah, pay for Pact. Typhoon, or Beanstalk. Okay, Beanstalk, Up the Beanstalk, draw a card! Now I have Solitude and Logic Knot. All of these are gonna draw more cards. Oh my gosh, okay, okay, I get it now. This is what it's like to be an EDH gamer. I get it, I understand. The key, I guess, is to play fun and interesting cards, huh? Was that the key all along? Yeah, too free for the friggin' bean, huh? I get it. I get it. I can be an EDH content creator too. I can do it. I can just get excited to cast cards. I can do it. Does this work how I think it does? Does this work how I think it does? If I have 2 Up the Beanstalks, and a Logic Knot, and a Leyline Binding, do I get to draw 4 cards? Is that fair? Is that too good? Does this work the way I think it does? Explosives on the side for Beanstalk value. We already had Chalice at the main for the same thing. Let's Solitude here. I want to be able to instant speed Verdict if I need to. This really does feel like I feel like I'm EDH gaming right now. Solitude. I think Beanstalk can bring back Reclamation. So I was saying this earlier, and it's kind of funny, like. So Beanstalk is a card that says, when you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, draw a card. That's the line of text, right? This is a build around card. What's nice about this build around card is that it lets you build your deck with a really low mana curve. It's a card draw engine that lets you build your deck with a particularly low mana curve compared to draw 2. Compared to like the Ring. You get to have a lower mana curve is the upside. Which is very funny. I want to play this so I can pick it back up with Binding too. Okay, y'all. Actually, this is actual EDH go crazy moment. I'm pretty sure I don't have another land to fetch. I will just check anyways. Despite I just know I don't have one. I don't know why I'm doing this. Right, there's the deck. We gotta give our opponent every chance they can, cause now, oh my gosh, God, it's so funny. The one game where it is actually worth going nuts over everything is the game we start this bit. The one game where everything is actually just the best. We deck ourselves. we need our opponent to cast a spell. Yeah, 5 mana I draw 5 is actually pretty good. Wait, does this work? Instance Lrien Revealed, draw 5. Yes, they're casting a spell. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're casting a spell. Oh, damn it. Oh, please cast a spell. They get Summoner's Pact. Okay. I should probably counter that so they keep playing. How much we can Logic Lock for? We can make like a... This should be a 16 power Shark for 2 mana, plus draw 2, plus counter the Pact. Patch notes. 2 mana Logic Knot also comes with a 14 power Shark. Yes, the Typhoon does scale off the mana. Does this work the way I think it does? If I delve X for Logic Knot, does it actually make an XX Shark? No way! Does this work the way I think it does? Alright, I'll let them use their mana this time. Okay. Okay, patch notes. What's today's date? 9/8. Logic Knot now draws 2 cards. And makes a 16 Shark. This tweet is too good to be a retweet, actually. That's a mean stream. What is Jesse saying about JoJo's? You would not see the light of heaven for this. That's funny. We love Jesse. Oh no, I'm BMing. No, I'm sorry, opponent. Sorry, I was tweeting. Should have asked if the tree's good. I don't need to ask. I know that one was a banger. That was a banger. Lucy's bark is so loud. Okay, so bringing in the 4 Logic Nods. Verdict is okay. I think I want just 1. It's so bad to draw 2. Can cut the Typhoons again. Can maybe cut Nissa 3. A little low on win cons. You just grind them into the dust. Attack them with Solitudes. I'm sorry, I was tweeting. Modern is healing. So just a bit of banter. You know what I mean? Just a bit of banter. Counterspell keep not. Honestly, I kind of would not mind doing a 3/3 split. I think 3/3 Teferi is good against Titan. I do kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Probably trimming 1 is probably good on the draw. I like it. It's a lot better on the player just bounce their sagas. Is Needle ever good enough? I don't think worth bringing in, but it's not like the worst card you could play. Why is Logic not in the deck? I'll show you why Logic not is in the deck. Someone just tuned in. Someone just tuned in. Logic Knot is 2 mana, draw 2 cards, make a 16/16 Shark, which is a little bit better than Counterspell. I've run the numbers, and it's a little bit better than Counterspell. Yeah, but can we do more? Probably will not do more today. We do have the combo again, though. No joke, I'm a green bean farmer. This makes me so happy. That's so funny. How are the beans this year? Is it a good harvest? Yeah, it feels good to be registering Typhoons again. To welcome all the spikelings back, huh? It is like a little greedy to not binding this turn. But they seem incredibly unlikely to be able to Titan me, and even if they do, I have a Solitude that draws a card, so... Let's get a little greedy. It's been good, hoping for another harvest before our first frost. All's looking good. Good to hear. Hopefully the deers and grasshoppers roll natty one. Yeah, I wish you the same. Thank you for the update. Oh, another 1 mana. Draw a card, exile non-land permanent, instant speed. No, do not play beans and Tron. This is not a good plan. Well, they have I know they have a Cavern of Souls, so I think I just want to cash in my 2 mana Cryptic command here. Dude, Logic Nut has literally always been counter target spell draw a card. I think every single spot so far in this league it has just been better than Counterspell. Why Logic Nut over Counterspell? Well, if you look at the deck list, we have 4 Counterspell, 2 Logic Nuts, but this is why. Why Logic Nut over Counterspell? Okay. Okay. Got it. That's funny. Okay, Up the Beanstalk is so good. No, nope. Okay. Binding are being officially better than Ring. Why ring when you can bean? So dumb. This seems good here. I think I just draw 4 though. Yeah, it really was too free for the bean all along, huh? So beautiful I could cry. Jesse, your tweet about Joe Jones was so funny. You need Besiege or something? Dismember? Probably just let it go, especially if we find another Nissa here. Yeah, I mean we might just find another Nissa. Just let it go. I want to Spreading Seas the Caverns and have Counterspell up. Are there just cards better than Teferi Hero? Now, yeah, Teferi Hero is worse than the Ring, and it's worse than the Bean. Oh, wait, I wanted to hold up Counterspell. I don't know why I cast this Teferi. They didn't have a Triumph, they had copied my Triumph with their Vesuva. That's okay, they can have a chance. So they pick up the Spreading Seas. Replay the Cavern. Pass back. They've got 1 card in their hands. Feeling pretty good. of 7 mana, so I guess we'll just hardcast Solitude and hold up everything else. Try not to tap out a counterspell this time. Control is very hard, forgive me. This could be a good Yorion deck. Well, if you play Yorion, you're going to draw your beans less often. Seems kind of risky to me. I think next turn we can go bounce the binding on the amulet and then pending the amulet have a binding in hand too. Seems like probably something to do. So they have another cavern. They've got 1 card left. Putting Shieldred, Grisabrand in that mono black Gore's deck maybe to play. Yeah, that's exactly that. I thought that's exactly what I said. and that was, but yeah, that's the plan. It's great. With Beanstalk, your hand is just literally always full. With Ring, you have like 15 cards in your hand. You're dying. You have to spend 4 mana on the damn thing. With Bean, your hand is just exactly perfectly full the whole game. So they find a Besage. So you're gonna Besage my binding. Is being dead to mill. Let's not worry about such things. Do I really have to evoke? I don't think I will. Oh, I don't, because they're gonna give me a land off the Besage. Right. Didn't want the one of Emrakul for mill on the board. If you want it, you want it. Like these kind of like discussions are. Yeah, like if you think mill's gonna be a problem, play it. If you don't. I'm not at the moment convinced mill is gonna be a problem, so I'm not playing it. You know. Why ring when you can bean? It's kind of sad how pathetic the ring has looked this game. I won't say anything. They should know I had this. I told them I had this. How can they remember I've drawn so many cards? Considered any White March? I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I think that card sucks and is unplayable. That would be $5 a month, please, for the rest of your life. If I play this again Beanstalk, I might legitimately deck myself. Yeah, it's just too. It is just actually too many cards. Like if I go Beanstalk, Logic Knot, it's 3 cards. Lrien Revealed is 5. It's just 2 mana Forced Fruition. Freya with the gifted sub to Shinda. Thank you, thank you. Let's draw 5 in response. Look for another binding. I'll draw 4. So I draw 4. So I didn't play the other bean. Okay, no such luck. We can pending it next turn. Oh wait, can I pending it now? 2 free for the friggin' bean, dude. Yeah, it's so funny. Like with Beanstalk, you really don't want to put 5 drops in your deck. It's so dumb. Like I've seen so many drafts of people playing Teferi Hero with Beanstalk, and it's like it's a 2 mana card that says when you cast a spell, 5 mana value or greater, draw a card, but you don't want to put 5 drops in your deck. It's so funny. They know what's happening. They know what's happening. Just tap it. just tap it. I know you're gonna tap it. You know you're gonna tap it. Let's get this over with. Can you explain the logic of not putting 5-drops? Because you don't want actual 5-mana spells. You want 0-mana spell, 0-mana spell, 2-mana spell, 1-mana spell, land, tap land. You know, like the 1-mana. This is also a bean card. These are the good bean cards. It's not. You don't bean with just by. All right, I'm gonna cast my 5-drop now. Does that resolve? I'm gonna bean again. Does my 5-drop resolve? Okay, now I'm gonna draw a card. Like that's not how you bean. Teferi, Hero of Dom, decent 5-drop. But that's what I'm saying. You don't even want decent 5-drops. You don't want 5-drops. Why would you want 5-drops? Your hand is always full. You want to just be multiple spelling instead of just playing a slow, grindy 5-mana card draw spell. Your hand is just always full. You don't want slow, high mana value cards. You literally can't stop me from this exact deck because, you know, take some damage, remove the creature later. But Affinity, the problem is the Bowmaster is just killing all of your creatures and putting a giant creature into play you can't race. And the Affinity deck already struggles because you draw so many cards and just get destroyed by Bowmasters. And the Beanstalk will exacerbate that problem, while also not being an artifact in your Affinity deck. I'm sure it's very fun. Arid Mesa, Wooded Foothills, so I guess we're up against Creativity. If you Creativity X equals 2, you get to trigger Bean. No Fable, no Fable, no Fable, no Fable. Please, no Teferi. What are you going to do, huh? Lose, I guess. Lose, I guess. Probably. Up the Tron. Like, do not play Bean and Tron. Like, you barely have any cards to trigger it anyways, because you're playing, like, Rings and Karns and Worm Coils. You have, like most builds of Tron right now, like, just don't have almost any ways to trigger. Oh, so Worm Coil triggers it. But you have, like 8 cards to trigger it, but you're triggering it the fair way. And you're triggering it when you're casting, like, Ugin and Ulamog, which should win you the game anyways, without an extra card. You know what I mean? Ooh, persists. Alright, just spell Pierce me so I can concede. Let's go. Thank you, opponent. Thank you for having a good hand. Yeah, know what the problem? Y'all know what the problem with Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, is? That it doesn't draw you a card when you cast it, brother. You gotta, if you're putting a card out of your hand, you better be getting a card right back into your hand, brother. I don't know what to tell you. You bring in Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas is maybe kind of bad because, like, it maybe helps them a little bit too much get their blue. I'm not sure. Purge is, like, largely better than Ending, I think, where it exiles Archon, it exiles Ren, it exiles the Fable tokens, and it does so at instant speed. The only thing is that this misses Teferi, but we still have Binding for Teferi. Maybe we'll play a Narset. Maybe we'll play one Pending. Wait, one Pending. Been playing the Dimir Acerec, and Wicked token from Not Dead After All has been pretty good enabling it. Fetches any combo piece. What? So, in the Wicked token from Not Dead After All has been pretty good enabling. Fetches any combo piece. Could you explain more how Not Dead After All helps you fetch your combo pieces? Because I have a very soft spot in my heart for the Acererak deck, but I have a very sore finger in my hand from clicking through the combo. I probably should have just played Misty. Click through the combo. So painful. Isn't C's good against their binding and Dormant? I don't know. I don't know. Like the thing is, like, a lot of times, like, creativity players can just be like they can just not have enough blue mana to go like Teferi plus Spell Pierce. So then you spreading sees them, and they go Teferi plus Spell Pierce. But like I do agree, it's gonna have its moments. You know what I mean? Okay, discard an Archon. Let's get a Teferi down. Got Force up. I think I'll draw a card so that this way if they play a Binding, I don't need to force it. Would a Murktide be good in this list? No, we're like a Supreme Verdict deck. We have a lot of non-instants and sorceries. I think it's just better to not care too much. We'll let this go. We can just purge it, then hold up Counterspell. Renin 6 was a reason to plus the Teferi instead, but I think... Oh, they're missing the land drop too. I guess this is fine. The Wicked token is sack fodder for Beseech. Oh, okay. Beseech and the Dimir. Okay, I missed that line of text somehow. That is cool. Yeah, that is cool. Beseech with Acererak is fun. I have a really I like that deck. It's very fun. Do we ever force here to play around Spell Pierce? Yes. I think so. It is a nightmare if I counterspell, they Spell Pierce, then I force, and I just don't have another counterspell. They do like to play a lot of that card usually. Nissa. Best draw, Beanstalk, of course. Which Acererak deck are we talking about? We used to play this Ace. So Acererak Heartless Summoning plus Relic of Legends is a 3-card combo that wins the game for you. We've played it in a few different shells, like mostly shells that are built around Heartless Summoning. So like that piece of your combo is pretty good. And then Heartless Summoning plus Acererak is like weirdly a lot of value. You just cast it for 1 mana over and over. Venture into the dungeon for 1 mana over and over. It's like weirdly pretty reasonable. A weird timing on the binding. Just let it go, I think. Don't think I need 1 mana bindings this match, so this game, so I'll just get a tap fountain. Yeah, we used to play a good amount of it. The combo is like an actual nightmare to click through on Magic Online. It is like literally 1,000 clicks to click through. And like it takes to kill an opponent from 20 to 0 probably takes me like 9 minutes. Playing like clicking at max speed for 9 minutes straight. It is rough, but it is really sweet. And also you can usually convince your opponents to concede. So like when we would stream a league, I'd say once in the league I would have an opponent who would make me click through the whole combo as they pretend like they don't know how the combo works. Yeah, not gonna fight over Prismatic Command. Yeah, go into that dark pool. The only deck I think I've ever streamed that has fan art is the Acererak deck of Acererak chilling in the dark pool. Not a card I think. Well, I don't know. They're stuck. They've been stuck on lands, but they did find a land for this turn. I think I'll just let that go and then try to binding their binding and attack their Rin with my Nissa. It is fair for them to force you to play through in hopes of mistake or clock. Yeah, it is fair, but it is also like lame as hell. Like you're just wasting everybody's time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fair. I get it. Yes, it's fair. No obligation to concede. But in my counter, come on. Like, can we just like Can we just play Magic instead of both of us sitting here for a combined 18 minutes for you to lose anyways? Like, you're going to lose anyways. Don't you value your own time? It's always been my attitude. My counter argument of, come on, please. Please just concede you're dead. To save yourself the time. Would Moto be a better place to create loose for confident combo? I think so. So I think I like just killing a token with this attack. It's probably going to be Prismatic Ending this turn to draw a card. Though I actually don't know if I'm killing the token or if I'm killing the Wrenn. I think I'm killing the token. Like, I know they have a land in their hand. And I want to be able to, like, just Solitude to... Yeah, Solitude up to exile another token. Oh, Logic. Well, it's kind of unreal how I feel like every single time we've had Logic Knot this league, it's just been better than Counterspell. It has just been better than Counterspell. Okay, minus on the Nissa. I'm not going to fight over like Prismari Command, I think. Since I have 2 more Nissas in my hand. 3-3 split. 3-3 split is, like, to be honest, seeming pretty dang reasonable. If y'all hated Solitude before, how do y'all feel about Solitude draw 2 cards? It's not Logic Knot, it's good as Beanstalk. That's like saying it's not Deceiver Exarch, that's good. It's Splinter Twin. You can't have one without the other. They're 2 sides of the same coin. 2 inseparable elements of the same creature. How important is Nissa to the deck? I think that I may recommend like going 1 less Nissa, maybe +1 Logic Knot. This is a good card though. To me, I think basically every time I play Beanstalk, I'm gonna have 2 or 3 Nissas. I was a little bit higher on it. I think I'm a little bit lower on it, maybe. But I think it's gonna be very hard for me to register Nissa without, or Beanstalk without registering Nissa also. Well, I guess we just Counterspell. And then not fight over this. Is blue-white control just splashing for me back possible? It is possible, and that's what you're watching right now. It's exactly that, but we're also playing Nissa. You know, I like it. Yeah, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. If this isn't blue-white control, I don't know what is. I really do think Nissa and Beanstalk, you're basically always if you're gonna play Beanstalk, it's just so free to play Nissa. You're already playing green. You already want to play Solitude in your deck. You already want to play a lot of fetch lands because you're playing Binding. You just like the first Nissa is mandatory. The second Nissa is probably mandatory. I could maybe get behind like the third Nissa not being optimal, but it's just I think it's kind of wild to not want to play Nissa if you're playing Beanstalk. How does this deck do versus 4-color pile? I mean, you probably can never lose any game ever if you're smart enough. I don't know. If you play this deck, I guarantee you will never lose. That's the Aspiring Spike guarantee. But ending, actually. We already played. We played Naya Titania Beanstalk. It was actually pretty reasonable, I think. Yeah, you could play Narset. I'm not sure. On the draw, I'm a little bit more hesitant. Play any Aspiring Spike deck and never lose a match of Magic again. 100% guarantee. And if you do somehow lose, you'll get 100% refund on your sub that you got 25% off during September. No Bant Triome. No, I think it's better to go 2 dual land Triomes instead of 1 basic land Triome and 1 Triome. That makes sense. Wow, Upkeep Shadow Prophecy. Kind of weird, like, play around Force of Negation, no play around Spell Pierce. I'm gonna try Bean in the Rec deck. The problem is the Rec deck mana curve is too high for a Bean deck. If you're gonna play Bean, you want your mana curve to be as low as possible, which is dumb, but true. Man, the classic Spell Pierced out of the game. Oh, never mind, we win. We were simply baiting the Spell Pierce. We were simply baiting the Spell Pierce, dude. This is crazy. Maybe I should have Lrien Revealed. I don't think so, actually. I might want to cast it. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I might also want to pitch Lrien for the Force. Of course. Yeah, I think we pitch Lrien Revealed, so if we draw a untapped land, we can Solitude, and if we draw not that, we can Force. Kind of let's just do both. Have I tried Cauldron? I think it has application. Yeah, we played Cauldron in Scales. It was really good. I think we were very likely to also play Cauldron in some other brews and stuff. Sundering Titan? Fuck, dude, that's so good here. Alright, do you have the 3rd Spell Pierce opponent? You wouldn't have the 3rd Spell Pierce. You would snap off the 3rd Spell Pierce. Okay. So, I get to kill some of their lands here, right? If I Solitude the Titan. Or do they just... I only get to kill 2 of their lands. I guess I should have waited to draw. This would be an awesome board state to win from, though. Okay. Actually, I don't know that they had to do all that. Oh, they did, actually. No, they didn't have to kill their Steam Vents. Yeah, they didn't have to kill their Steam Vents. Right? Or their Xander's Lounge? Or no, they have to kill their Xander's Lounge. But they just have double land, 3 drop. What the hell? Oh. I mean, that's also, like, pretty rough. They have to kill as many as possible? Do they? Because don't you... No, you just have to kill a... and, you know, I may be wrong with this. But don't you just have to kill a type of each? So, like, killing this, doesn't that count for killing an island, swamp, and mountain? That would be my thinking. I'm pretty sure it works that way. No. Okay. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, you know. Come on, Bean! Oh, we really need to land. You have to kill as many types as possible, not as many lands. No, you must target each type individually. Choose a land of each basic land type and destroy those lands. Okay, I'll take your word for it. All right, we lose. Fine. I stand corrected. Yeah. So they mold to 5. It just feels so smart when your opponent molds to 5 and you're playing control. Yeah, the token is for all cards. They extended the token length by a day because the first day was pretty buggy too, but I think there's probably 4 or 5 days left. Yeah, the Brewer token was a great idea. I've been hoping that they would implement something like this for literally years, and I am very excited. Opponent with the 1-lander, and they're about to get Chaliced. This is what we all play blue-white control for. Day's going really good today, Rav. I'm in a good mood today. The testing has just been going great, also. Alright, we'll take a Hymn to Turok. Yeah, Daybreak has been doing a really good job, for sure. They are actively working to improve the game. The client. Yeah, 1 land after double preordain is pretty sad. I actually do think it's right to play around Spell Pierce here. Maybe I'm a little bit traumatized after the last game. Do you miss the ring? No. Like with the bean, our hand is just like constantly full, and our curve is much lower. And it is also true that like in your ring decks, your like blue-white control with the ring without Omnath is kind of like the worst of the viable ring decks, where you just don't have a shielded or an Omnath to offset the life loss. It's pretty dicey. It is feasible, and we've done it and it's been fine. But I think at the time of making this comment, the bean is the better card advantage engine for blue-white X control, or blue-white-green X control. I should probably say. Like Titan ring decks. Yeah, I don't think bean is probably very good in Titan, but the ring is still a good card. Don't get me twisted on that. The ring is still a good card, but in this archetype specifically, I think the bean is better. Bean has been pretty nuts. Yeah, I thought I only had Domain 2 for some reason. Yeah, the fact that it doesn't kill you is great. I love that part about it. They do have a backup Nissa. The thing is, like, this Nissa is just... It's just definitely dying. I should still sack this land so that after they kill it, I'll just play another Nissa. You said Nissa, always Nissa with Beanstalk because of Solitude, so always white with Beanstalk. Not necessarily. If you can play Fury instead, it is fine. I should have played Basic Plains. I guess it's shock. You can play Fury instead. We played Naya with both, but like you're always gonna play Nissa and Fury or Solitude. Although Solitude is the better like control incarnation. Card? Nice. Good card. That will 100% have another Solitude. T-Favs with the Twitch Prime. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, and then like the thing is like with Bean, so the thing with Beanstalk is you're always playing for Leyline Binding in your Beanstalk decks. There's I don't think any time you'll ever not unless you have like very odd deck building requirements. So if you're always playing for bindings, You're already a green deck that wants to play a lot of fetch lands, so play Nissa. You're always a green deck that plays a lot of fetch lands that wants to have Solitude in your deck. Just play Nissa. It is a very easy formula. Why do we need 6 mana there? We didn't need 6 mana, but we needed to fetch twice to trigger the Nissa, unless I'm misunderstanding your comment, which happens all the time on this dang channel. Oh, double white. Oh, to Shark the Fountain. Yeah, the second white. What about one Elshnorn? Yeah, it's maybe good to play an Elshnorn over a Typhoon, but like my philosophy is genuinely don't play 5-drops in your Beanstalk deck. It is such a weird thing to say. A card that wants you to cast spells mana value 5 or greater. You would think, oh, I'll put some 5-drops in my deck. Don't. Just put Logic Knot and Solitudes and Bindings and Furies. Like that's what's broken about Bean, is when you are just like. I mean, obviously, you can spend 5 mana on these cards too, but you want to be able to cast them for cheap early. Bring to light for Valkyrie with Bean Salty Dominant. Again, the curve is just too high. The curve is just too high. Again, what's good about Bean is it's a 2-mana card advantage engine. This is very rare to have a 2-mana card like this that's just going to draw you like 6 cards over the course of a game. And what's nice about that is you get to lower your control deck's mana curve. And which is why all these suggestions for like, oh, let's play the Bean in Tron. Let's play it with Bring to Light Valkyrie. Why this is just, I think, misunderstanding the card. If you're bringing to light for Valkyrie, you're ahead. If you're casting Karn Liberated, you're ahead. If you're casting a Binding or Solitude, you're not necessarily ahead. That's just a 1-for-1. But turning all your 1-for-1s into 2-for-1s is what is busted about the Bean. The 5-drop Elvastorn. Yeah, the 5-drop Elvastorn is a playable modern card. It's a reasonable spell. It's one I'm usually somewhat happy to register. You could also play the 5-mana Titania as like a win condition with Nissa. I think that could maybe even be better. That's usually how I feel in Nissa decks, is one of the 5-mana Titanias oftentimes ends up being better. But I at the time of making this comment, I kind of like Typhoon as your win con because it's a bit cheaper, a bit more flexible. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the third Verdict. I think I'm going to trim a Nissa and then not bring in Purge. Maybe 1 Purge. Hitting Bloodmoon's kind of nice. Oh, I need the Chalices, sorry. No Typhoons. We're like legitimately low on win cons with no Typhoons. Maybe we play Typhoons over Nissa. Nissa's pretty fragile in this matchup. Maybe the worst matchup for Nissa. Should we play Terminus over Verdict for the Bean? The thing is, like, a card that, like... So I know Terminus triggers Bean, but Beanstalk is a card that is drawing cards, I guess you can draw a card on your opponent's turn trying to find Terminus, but I don't know. I think that you don't just play Verdict instead. We have enough like spells to trigger Bean. I don't think we need to also play Terminus. Although Terminus is very sweet and I love the card. Can I explain the thinking behind Narset? I want Narset against every deck with the Wondering in it. And so I want to have one in the sideboard. Probably have to keep this. Opponent's on a Mold of 6, can't catch a break. Think there's anything we can with Beanstalk and Pioneer? I mean, maybe. Beanstalk is a good card. The problem with Beanstalk and Pioneer is you have to play it fairly, how it was designed to be played. You have to play it. You have to actually cast 5 mana spells to trigger it because you. But there is Binding. There is Binding, but Binding is also much worse than Pioneer without fetch lands. I don't really think that there are a bunch of like cheap ways to trigger it. You don't have Solitude, you don't have Fury, you don't have Nissa plus fetch lands. You're really missing a lot of the good stuff. Yeah, you do have Yorion, but I don't know. Yorion's a good card. Yorion's a good card. You also have Dig Through Time. Yeah. The problem with Dig Through Time Cruise plus Beanstalk is those Treasure Cruise Dig Through Time need you to play like a lot of like instants and sorceries that go to the graveyard, right? You need to play a lot of those cards for Dig Through Time Treasure Cruise to be playable in your deck. And Beanstalk is like a 2-mana enchantment that doesn't go to the yard to delve away, that is only really going to be a good card when this is only going to be a good effect for you when you're already casting Cruise and Dig Through Time. So I think that it's gonna be a little too win more, if I had to put a word on it. Let's get Domain here. A little bit scared of Blood Moon, but we can be a little scared of Blood Moon. Then maybe I want to like cycle a Typhoon for one. Thoughts on Cosmic Rebirth? I like the card Cosmic Rebirth. I don't think it's right in the Bean deck necessarily, but I do generally like that card. It's a little bit outside like the power level you need it to be, but I mostly like only want to register it in an Eternal Witness Ephemerate Brews. That's certainly been the home that I've been most impressed by it in. But Mono Green and Pioneer, we're ramping up 5 drops on turn 3. Yeah, but you're not ramping up 5 drops on turn 3 if you took a turn off to cast the Bean, I think. I want to be able to counterspell, pay for Spell Pierce. I want to be able to get planes that also can take our time here. They have no pressure. But also like maybe. But I mean actually no not maybe, right? And like in Mono Green Devotion and Pioneer you have like 9 cards that trigger it if you play the Cityscape Leveler. I don't even like Leveler is okay, but I don't usually main deck it. You just have Cavalier and Storm and like your one of Leveler. Yeah, Commandeer is a Modern Legal card. We got destroyed by it the other day, actually. So they have a counterspell if they're going to think about that spot. We're also getting kind of flooded, so I think we might actually cycle our Triome. Why my opponent is casting this in my main phase, I do not know. Probably thought it was my end step. I'm going to just draw cards so that if they have heat, I'm getting 2 for 1. Not ideal against a Dash Dragonman, I know. This deck seems like it'd have a rough time against Titan. We played against Titan in this league, and we, like, absolutely demolished them. It was, like, so demoralizing for them, I think. It was, like, both games were so not close. Okay, successfully played around Heat. Why did WotC only print Inkmoth Nexus once besides Secret Layers? Because that's what I told them to do. They said, Spike, do you think anyone would like extra printings of Inkmoth Nexus? And I said, I don't think so. I don't think anybody would want that. I just wish he had said something sooner. So really, if this is on anybody, this is on you. Okay, well I guess we're taking 6. I guess I'll probably just chump because I have the Verdict. What made control good against Titan? Beanstalk? I mean, Beanstalk was nuts, but yeah, like Beanstalk turning your Solitudes and your bindings into 2 for 1s instead of 1 for 1s was a really big deal. But you just exile all their creatures and all their amulets, and you know it's not too tough. I think Beanstalk could be played in green-black coffers. I'm not sure. Doesn't sound like an awful idea. So I think they have a spell. What did they pitch? They pitched a Spell Pierce. I guess I should have played this first, so that they have another subtlety. I'm not shuffling my Teferi away. Which red-green food list would you recommend? I really liked the Knight of Sweets Revenge build we played yesterday. I thought it was awesome. I like the deck a lot. I'm gonna be working on it some more. I think we'll probably play a slightly tweaked list sometime next week. I would think that build has like that build is worse against Scam and Murktide, I think better against probably everything else is my current thinking. Win a plus here so that if they have Ragavan, we can kill it with the instant speed verdict. Yeah, we have considered Commandeer. Nah, of course I didn't side out the beans. I would never even think about sideboarding out a bean. Yeah, we had a deck tech yesterday. Someone had a Sunscour bean list that looked pretty cool. I don't think it was good, but it might have been. I don't know. Do you think it's been better in control or 4-color? Well, I just kind of think that the 4-color Omnath has a lot of inherent weaknesses as an archetype that get compensated for. Just the lack of counterspells, the lack of like being able to fight decks like Titan and yeah, maybe Titan's not that bad. You have a lot of creature removal. I don't know. Omnath is a good deck. I tend to gravitate towards control variants. It's maybe a little bit of just my biases leaking through them. Monkey with the 5-pack. Thank you. Gotta give yourself a monkey. Make sure to thank him. Yeah, I've heard some people in the chat talk about Sheldon passing. I haven't heard any news about it. It's always a little bit weird being a streamer when sad news like that happens. You gotta react to it. I didn't know Sheldon. Not super familiar with his work, but rest in peace to a very important community member. Just gonna slam this, I think. Remember Saffron Olive tweeted the other day that he's never seen Lrien Revealed cast, or like Lrien Revealed doesn't get cast that often. I'm like, man, I cast Lrien Revealed so much. Maybe I just flood all the time. I think Bean can slot in Team Rack. Yeah. So we've been saying this a lot today. A lot of people are asking about Bean in Team Rack. A lot of people are asking about playing Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, with the Bean. But I just don't play a high curve deck with Bean. Just Bean is good because it's a cheap draw engine that works with like your 0 and 1 and 2 mana cards and your lands like Lrien Revealed. You don't need to raise your curve. Like this is just, you know, Pioneer brain. In Modern we get to cast. In Modern and Legacy we get to cast our high mana value cards for 1 or 2 0 mana. Okay, I probably should have given another Spell Pierce some credit, huh? But if they've used 3 counterspells or 2? 2. Okay. Got this one through though. I didn't side out my Nissas. I think I'll just still hold this in hand for now. Okay, they have no cards in their hand. We're 27 cards deep with no beans. Which is really just an L. So the third iteration of the fourth one, the third one. Okay, they get a DRC, which I'm very happy to see with my Pending. If we draw a Bean, we can just spend 5 mana on the Pending 2 to draw an extra card. Probably just should have thinned, I don't know. No, I sided out the Nissas, so we don't need the fetches. What's your best draw? Our best draw, I think, is actually Beanstalk. We need to go Beanstalk, spend 5 mana on Prismatic Ending, draw a card off the Beanstalk. Have infinite plays. Lrien would be good, of course, too. Solitude would be good. Teferi would be good. You know, Binding's not the worst. Let me. That's too late. I'll just fetch it then next turn. Maybe run them out of threats. Bean, 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 bean. Probably just supposed to verdict. I do have 4 beans in the deck still, so in theory I want to be keeping it as a good top deck, and also weaken Binding with Logic Not Up to play around a Murktide. Plus this could also get a Ragavan. Response, they Otawara their Ragavan. It's kind of interesting that we now have a Binding that's just chilling out here. That we can Teferi back to our hand at some point. Finally drew a good one. Oh boy. Game over. Draw Beanstalk immediately, GG. Oh wait, I don't, oh no, I didn't play around drawing 2. I guess I only can play 1, so I can Logic Not the Ragavan here. One comes left. I have 1 Typhoon left and 3 more Solitudes, including the one in my hand. My opponent just says GG's, which is... Do they know about my Logic Not from Bobble or something? Or this is maybe going to be the classic GG's. Keep playing. Maybe their hand is Ragavan, land, Bobble. But they have a Ragavan. Like, why are we not dashing Ragavan before saying GG's? Like, you never dashed a Ragavan, hit a Teferi in this kind of spot. They saw it. I guess they must have sawn it to the seen it to the Bobble. I just don't remember revealing it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, GG's into perfects. That happened to us not that long ago. I can't remember which match it was. I'm almost scared if I play the second beat, I'll draw too many cards. Especially now that I just have... Yeah, I actually can't play it. It's too many cards. I have 20 left. Okay, with a Counterspell, it's fine. I was worried about like picking up the Binding, replaying the Binding. This is probably fine. Don't you just love the GG's? Okay, I'm going to keep playing, by the way. I'm going to keep playing and maybe win. Okay, definitely not playing the third one. Bean is not a May, you have to draw a card. I think I really want the Chalice when I'm playing so they can't kill my Solitudes. I'm going to cast this draw too. Cast this draw too. It's funny how much better Logic Knot is than Counterspell in the stack. I think I might pending my own Bean. But maybe I'll pay 5 so I at least draw 2 off that one. Seems pretty reasonable. Oh, there it is. Because deck use Colonnade. I don't like Colonnade. You could play it. It would be fine if you're worried about not being able to close games. I encourage you to play it. I'm not worried about it. Look at that deck. I got everything I need right in there. Yeah, don't seeing our deck especially not right to hardcast the Typhoon. Yeah, don't play. I don't know. People always like love to take a new card draw engine and just raise the curve, but you just want to keep a low mana curve, I think, as low as you can. GG's. Alright, let's get a 4-1 prediction. You see my HS list. HS list. I don't know what that is. So we have 4 Spreading Seas in the sideboard. Hopefully we'll go a long way here. I guess... Do I pin this to cut them off green? They obviously have a Sylvan Scrying. They might not have another green source. Yeah, I weirdly think it's just right to... I know they're getting a card, and I know I'm not playing Beanstalk, but if they're not cracking the Sphere, they have Sylvan Scrying in their hands, so this is maybe our best chance to keep them off Tron. Okay. Alright, I want these cards. One thing is, like, my Solitude Nissa plan sucks in this matchup. It is not a good plan. I think I'll try to play 2 Solitude, 2 Shark as my win cons, and then figure it out. The play, I think I'm going to trim a Pending. On the draw, I like them a lot more. Beanstalk is also a lot worse with me being in 4 Spreading Seas. With me being in 4 Spreading Seas and out a bunch of Solitudes and the Nissas, I think I'm actually going to cut the Beanstalks. Actually seems like just the matchup where you cut them. It's been good all league. Obviously, a lot of times I feel bad about cutting the card we're playtesting, but I think this is the matchup where you do it. Oh, sorry, I should have cut the Verdicts. I have... This has happened a lot of times to me where I'll play against Tron. I just have Verdict blindness. I just forget to side them out. So maybe we play a couple beans over the Verdicts. I don't know if that has ever happened to anyone else, but I just sometimes have Supreme Verdict blindness. I just don't cut the card. So I kind of think there's a good chance my opponent is holding Expedition Map, and they don't want to play it into a Prismatic Ending, and now they've held it against a Chalice. At least that's what I'm hoping. Yeah, they've got 16 one-drops in their deck, so hopefully this is going to get some work done. Now we got a clock in play. I always get Teferis, are they good in the matchup? They're not good, but like your whole deck, you have like a ton of bad cards. You could cut them, but I think they're probably a little bit better than Beans. Maybe Beans are better, they're cheaper at least. Shaban with the Twitch Prime, thank you. Warp and Whale, huh? I guess thinking about my deck, I would kind of like to draw Teferi and bounce this, and if I don't, there's not a ton of cards I get particularly punished for by waiting. I guess Tron, plus I can't use Logic Knot, but we're probably not beating a lot of their hands that involve top decking a tower. Okay, well, I was about to say it's a bit awkward that I can't Spreading Seas them off Tron because they have 2 of each piece. But drawing second Spreading Seas gets the job done. Control land to have Logic not up. We have Force up at the very least. I think I should cast both of them here. Why no Beseiju? I mean, look at the spells we're playing in their deck. Beseiju just doesn't cast them. Okay, and then they did draw the tower, but they don't have another thing to play. Go, Shark, go! I think Spreading Seas is better than Beseiju against Tron also. It's like kind of the same effect, but you get to draw a card instead of giving them a green source. Does it ever matter where you seize 2 plants or 1 plant, 1 mine? Yes, if you seize 1 plant, 1 mine, they still will have Tron if they have a tower. Yes, it matters. Alright, let's use our Logic Knot since it can become dead. Don't need to play around Veil because I have Chalice. This Typhoon Fukin deck is pretty expensive for Beanstalk deck. It is literally the cheapest win condition you can possibly play. Like every other win con that you play is like Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. The One Ring's not really a win con. I mean, you could play Creature Lands instead and get the curve lower. But you know, it cycles for 3 mana. It's not too bad. And 12 damage Shark, huh? Game 3 is going to be so tough. Game 3 is going to be so tough. We'll get the verdicts out, of course. Their hand is 7 1-mana spells. I do like Chalice against Tron. I've never seen it be nearly that good, though. Okay, I'm going to play 1 Nissa. I think on the draw, I even want less Chalice. It's just much worse on the draw. Just down to 2. Didn't have the map though, so I was wrong with them playing around it. Well, they did have 7 1-drops. I don't. That is a bit odd. I don't know what their hand was. Usually I force map and then I wait for the green card to force against Chromatic Star Sphere. Nissa, but no more Solitude. I think we have 1 Nissa, 2 Solitude. It seems fine. We're mostly playing as a 3-mana 3/3 that is also a Lotus Cobra. Not really using its ability very much here, I think. Alright, play untap land so you can make a 1/1 Shark or Logic Knot and draw a card. Logic Knot, draw a card it is. Should never have doubted the beans. Narset stops their stars and spheres and stuff. Can maybe find me a Force of Negation. Can maybe find me a Spreading Seas. I'll take a Chalice. Yeah, Logic Knot has legitimately been better than Counterspell, I think, every single time we've drawn it this league, which is just so ridiculous. Any Narset forgetters? Yep. Any Narset forgetters in the chat? Okay, they're not gonna forget with this one, I imagine. I'll play it on my turn. What can they have here that would make... I guess Karn the Great Creator would be the card here that would make me not want to play my Chalice. But, you know, if they play Karn plus some Chalice, I Binding, draw a card. It's not really that bad an outcome. Maybe they had Nature's Claim. At one point, I think you may have seen it, but at one point we made like a 16/16 Shark, drew 2 cards for 2 mana. Okay, they do have the Karn. Will they plus? They minus. Use it for the Snowlands. Yeah, we're just bluffing Ice Fang by playing the Snowlands. Pretty free in a Bant deck. They get a ring. Not very good against the Narset. Good chance I even just let it resolve. I mean, it draws them a card a turn. Okay, don't say I never did nothing for you. Don't say I never did nothing for you, chat. Oh, the Snowland Slate worse than Break the Ice? I don't know. Not worse enough for me to worry about it. Okay, it's a lot of lands. Whatever. I get to draw a card. Oh boy, we had better find an answer for that O-Stone. We had better find an answer to that O-Stone. Holy shit. Please. I'll even take a Prismatic. I mean, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with Teferi Time Raveler. Should have fetched the Thin first. No. I mean, I'm just dead. I don't even have like win cons left in my deck. Both my Typhoons are gone. They kill everything. They have an active ring, infinite mana, no Narset, no Chalice, no Bean. Dang, tough game, huh? Guess I guess I shouldn't have cast a second Typhoon. Who could have foreseen that being the wrong line? It's okay. It was fun line. Beanstalk great. Beanstalk is been so impressive. Just blown away by it so far. I think I don't have it in me to play another full control league. It's just so tough to. Oh, we open a Shieldred. Let's go. It's kind of big. I also haven't seen this card. Oh, I have. It's just different art. We'll play more Bean at some point for sure. Maybe you can get some kind of creative builds going too. But I also I have a deck that I think I've been very excited for. I don't know how excited Chad has been, but I really wanted to get to it this week. So let's get to it. This is a kind of